Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today, we're talking about the fountain of youth. But it's not a mythical spring, an expensive cream, or a grueling new diet. It's something far more accessible and deeply human, your social circle. In the race against time, a growing body of scientific evidence shows that the richness of our relationships may be just as crucial as diet and exercise in determining not just how long we live, but how well we age. So let's dive into the unseen force of our social lives and uncover how it holds the key to a slower aging process. It turns out, the old saying that good friends are good for the soul is now being borne out by hard science. Researchers are uncovering the intricate biological pathways that embed our social lives into our very cells, influencing everything from our DNA to our immune system. Let's start at that microscopic level with something called the epigenetic clock. We all have two ages, our chronological age, counted in birthdays, and our biological age, which reflects the true health of our cells. The epigenetic clock measures this biological age by looking at chemical modifications to our DNA called DNA methylation. Think of them as sticky notes on your genes that influence how they're expressed. Over time, these patterns change in predictable ways, allowing scientists to estimate how old your body really is. A landmark study introduced a concept called cumulative social advantage. This measures the depth and quality of your social connections throughout your entire life, from parental warmth in childhood to friendships and community life in adulthood. The results were remarkable. Individuals with richer, more sustained social connections had slower epigenetic aging. Their biological age was measurably younger than their chronological age. As one lead researcher, Anthony Ong, put it, think of social connections like a retirement account. The earlier you start investing and the more consistently you contribute, the greater your returns. And those returns aren't just emotional, they're biological. This social advantage sends a direct signal to our cells to slow down the aging process. Next, let's talk about inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is a key driver of many age-related diseases, heart disease, diabetes, neurodegenerative disorders. It's like a slow, simmering fire inside the body. And it turns out, social connection is a powerful anti-inflammatory. Study after study shows that people with strong social support networks have lower levels of inflammatory markers, like C-reactive protein. Conversely, social isolation is linked to higher levels of these markers, creating a clear biological pathway from loneliness to poor health. The emotional warmth and stability from strong social ties seem to regulate our immune system, preventing it from going into a state of chronic, damaging overdrive. Now, let's zoom in even further to the very ends of our chromosomes. Here you'll find protective caps called telomeres, often compared to the plastic tips on shoelaces. Every time a cell divides, these telomeres get a little shorter. When they become too short, the cell stops dividing and ages. Telomere length is another crucial biomarker of cellular aging. The link here is a bit more complex. While a direct connection between social support and longer telomeres is still being debated, the indirect effect is powerful. Chronic stress is a known accelerator of telomere shortening. Social isolation is a form of chronic stress. In one fascinating study, even highly social African gray parrots that were housed alone had shorter telomeres than those housed in pairs. For humans, unsupportive or ambivalent relationships are also linked to shorter telomeres. On the flip side, positive social interactions release hormones like oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which has been shown to have a protective effect. So, while social support might not directly build longer telomeres, it creates a less stressful environment that protects them from shortening too quickly. This brings us to the stress buffering hypothesis. When you experience stress, your body releases a cascade of hormones, most famously cortisol. In the short term, this is a lifesaver. But chronic stress means chronically elevated cortisol, which wears down your body and contributes to aging. Happy, supportive relationships act as a powerful buffer against this chemical storm. Research has found that older couples with high relationship satisfaction have lower cortisol levels. What's particularly interesting is that the emotional quality of these relationships seems to matter more than the sheer number of friends you have. It's the closeness, not just the contact, that calms the body's stress response. Beyond the cellular level, social connections provide a vital psychological scaffolding that supports healthy aging. Think of resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Socially connected seniors are simply more resilient. When dealing with health issues, loss, or changes in independence, a strong social network acts as a safety net, providing both emotional and practical help. This sense of security and belonging fosters more positive coping strategies. An active social life is also a workout for the brain. Engaging in conversation, participating in group activities, and learning new things socially keeps the mind sharp. Research has shown that regular social interaction can lead to a staggering 70% reduction in the rate of cognitive decline. Socially active seniors tend to have better memory, attention, and problem-solving skills. This social engagement builds cognitive reserve, the brain's ability to withstand damage, and some studies even link a strong social life to a 30 to 50% reduced risk of dementia. And, of course, there is the direct link to mental health. Loneliness is a huge risk factor for depression and anxiety in older adults. Meaningful social connections provide emotional support and a sense of being valued, which are crucial for our mental well-being. Engaging with others boosts mood, reduces feelings of isolation, and provides a sense of purpose. While all social connections are beneficial, a growing body of research suggests that in later life, friendships take on a special significance, sometimes even more so than family relationships. A massive study of nearly 280,000 people found that while both family and friends were linked to better health and happiness, friendships became a stronger predictor of well-being at advanced ages. Why? The voluntary nature of friendship might be key. We choose our friends. As we age, we tend to curate our social circles, keeping those who make us feel good. Family relationships, while wonderful, can sometimes come with a sense of obligation. Friends are often our partners in leisure and shared interests, bringing a different, potent kind of joy. For older adults who may be widowed or have distant family, friends become a vital lifeline, helping to stave off loneliness and rebuild a social life. So knowing all this, how can we proactively build and nurture these life-sustaining connections? One of the most effective ways is to re-engage with community life. Join a book club, a gardening group, or a walking club. Volunteer for a cause you care about. This provides both connection and a profound sense of purpose. Local senior centers are often hubs of activity, offering everything from game nights to educational workshops. A great example is the Caring Connections program in Central Oregon, a telephone reassurance service that connects volunteers with seniors for regular phone calls. It has had a measurable positive impact on loneliness, anxiety, and depression. Another powerful avenue is intergenerational connection. Programs that bring different generations together for mentorship, storytelling, or shared hobbies can create unique bonds and break down age-related stereotypes. And in our digital age, technology can be a powerful tool. Video calls and social media allow us to stay in touch with loved ones across distances. Online forums and classes connect people with shared interests, regardless of geography. There's even emerging research that smart speakers and voice assistants can help alleviate loneliness by providing a sense of presence in the room. A case study of a tech training program for homebound older adults found that one-on-one training from volunteers was highly successful, proving that a human touch is still essential, even when introducing technology. Of course, the experience of aging and social support varies dramatically across cultures. In many Eastern or collectivist cultures, there's a strong emphasis on family harmony and filial piety, a deep respect for elders. This often means multi-generational households, where older adults are integral to daily life, seen as sources of wisdom. In contrast, many Western or individualist societies emphasize personal independence, which can increase the risk of isolation in old age. But different cultures offer inspiring models. In Japan, the concept of ikigai, or a reason for being, provides a strong sense of purpose throughout life. In many indigenous communities, elders are revered as knowledge keepers, ensuring their central role in the community. However, globalization is changing these traditional structures. As younger generations move for work, they are weakening the traditional family support system, leaving more elders living alone, even in collectivist societies. This global shift underscores the urgent need for all societies to find innovative ways to support their aging populations. The evidence is clear and compelling. Our social connections are not a soft skill or a pleasant luxury. They are a fundamental pillar of our health and longevity. From resetting our biological clocks and calming inflammation, to building our psychological resilience and keeping our minds sharp, the power of connection is one of the most potent forces we have. By actively engaging in our communities, nurturing our friendships, and embracing new ways to connect, we can not only enrich our later years, but also add years to our life, and most importantly, life to our years.